Humarap at isinalaysay ni alias Kim ang nakita niya umanong pambabanta at pananakit ni Davao 1st District Representative Paulo Pulong Duterte kay Criston John Sean Patria sa isang bar sa Davao City noong Pebrero 23 sa kanyang isinumiting affidavit sa PNP, Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, bandang alas 11 ng gabi noong Pebrero 22. Pinapunta umano siya ni Patria sa isang pribadong subdivision sa Davao City. Dito umano niya nakita si Congressman Duterte, Patria at ang negosyanteng nagngangalang Charlie Tan kasama ang ilang babae.
Before siya umalis, sinabihan niya ako kung gusto kong pumunta sa bar, pwede akong sumunod sa bar. Tapos nag-message ako kang Sean na, Sean, tapos na ako dito, pwede ba akong pumunta dyan sa bar kung pwede pa? Okay naman, pinapunta naman ako doon.
Pagdating sa bar, inabutan umano niya ang kongresista na umiinom at sumasayaw. Ilang sandali pa, pinasama umano siya at ang dalawa pang babae ni Pulong Duterte sa kanyang mga bodyguard. Matapos ang ilang oras, pagbalik nila, binigyan umano sila ni Pulong Duterte ng tig 13,000 piso. Dito na rin umano nagalit si Pulong Duterte nang hindi masagot ng isang babae ang tanong ng kongresista.
Nagtanong si Pulong na in Bisaya, nagtanong si Pulong kung ba daw siya. Ano ang babae na oo. Then ang sagot ng babae is walang nag-ano sa kanya. Doon nagalit si Pulong kasi naghingi siya ng pera niya, hindi siya nalabas. So doon na kami nag-ano kasi na-shock na kami kasi naglabas na siya ng kutsilyo. Inaano niya na si Sean sa gilid. Tapos nagpanik kami. Tapos binaba niya si Sean kasama yung mga bodyguard niya. Hindi ko na nakita kasi pababa na.
Kwento pa ni Kim na maging sila ay pinagbantaan rin umano ng kongresista.
20 minutes siguro, sabi ni Pulong na pababain mo yung mga babae. Wala akong paki sa mga babae, papatayin ko sila lahat. So nagpanik na kami. Kasi papatayin niya kami, no. Wala kaming magawa kasi na-corner talaga, parang kumbaga hopeless. Nababa na kami, doon na namin nakita na grabe yung pagbugbog kang Sean. Sampal, palo sa kamay, taga-palo sa kamay, 1,000. Taga-sampal, 1,000. Suntok, 1,000.
Sa pag-alis ng grupo ni Pulong Duterte, dito na rin umano nakalabas si Kim at ang iba pang babae. Dahil sa trauma, nito lamang huling linggo ng Abril na kabalik ng Davao si Kim.
Matulungan si Sean na maano yung musisya para sa kanya kasi grabe kasi yung nangyari sa kanya, parang trauma talaga.
Samantala, naisahan na naman ang mga Pilipino, partikular na ang mahal nating Pilipinas dahil sa panibago na namang natuklasan sa ginanap na pagdinig ng Senado sa mga hindi katanggap-tanggap na ginawa ng China laban sa Pilipinas na dapat at karapatan ng bawat sambayan ng Pilipino na malaman, panuurin, pakinggang mabuti at kayo na ang bahalang humusga. Ngunit bago tayo magpatuloy, huwag kalimutang i-like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more updates and for more upcoming videos. Maraming salamat!
Dapat ito nire-refer nyo sa NBI.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I am from the Enforcement and Investor Protection Department, and at of the moment, we have at least 30 investigators, Your Honor.
Investigators.
At least 30, Your Honor.
1-3 or 3-0?
3-0, Your Honor.
3-0 to cover the entire country. So, ang nakikita ko rito, dapat makipag-ugnayan kayo sa NBI. Baka hindi nyo kayanin yan. Diba? I foresee some policy redirection concerning this. You're not trained to be investigators. Dapat sa NBI. Otherwise, lalo magtatagal ang proseso. So, NBI, perhaps you can just coordinate with SEC para mas mapabilis na ito. Otherwise, maiiwan kayo. Yun lang ang comment ko. Senator JD, meron po kayong comment?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Tanong ko lang kung with your permission, any DFA representative, kung andyan po sila, dahil we have been conducting a lot of hearings about this issue, no? Lalo sa maritime, sa spies, sa I've been following a lot of your hearings. I'd just like to ask if has there been an effort on the part of the DFA on any diplomatic actions, no, or official communications with the Chinese government regarding all of these things that you have taken up in your committee? Unang-una po, yung sa underwater drones, yung mga submarines, meron na ba silang official communication? Meron na po bang sagot ang Chinese government? Tapos dito naman po sa mga tungkol po sa mga just recently discussed vloggers and this time candidates. So has there any diplomatic actions on the part of the Department of Foreign Affairs in communicating with the Chinese government?
We recognize the presence here of ASEC Alferez. Ang tanong po ni Senator JB, sa dinami-dami na ng naging insidente, wala dito ang Philippine Navy, wala dito yung iba, ang dami na na-present dito. Wala kami narinig sa inyo kung nag-file kayo ng diplomatic protest. Meron po ba?
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Your Honor. On the part of the DFA, certainly, I will answer first the first question, Your Honor, regarding the incident involving the submersible drone. And then I will allow my colleague, Assistant Secretary Doc Rock, to answer the other question. But on the submersible drone, we continue to work with our partner agencies to get more detailed information about the drone. We've been listening intently to the information that have been provided by the Philippine Navy and the Philippine Coast Guard at the last hearing. But as of today, no foreign government has still acknowledged ownership or use of the submersible drone that has been under Philippine government custody. And from the perspective of the Department of Foreign Affairs, a diplomatic protest would have to be very sure as to which foreign government we are issuing it to. So we hope that we can receive further information from our partner security agencies on this. But having said that, Mr. Chair, the Department of Foreign Affairs has also been very closely monitoring illegal marine scientific research activities being done by foreign vessels within our maritime zones. And in fact, we are in the process of, we're actually about to issue a diplomatic protest regarding one incident involving the research vessel Hayang 24, which was found to be conducting some form of illegal activity, most likely marine scientific research around the Coron, Palawan area. But over the past 2 years, we have also been monitoring several illegal MSR activities by Chinese vessels, and we have duly protested those.
Ang tanong nga doon ni Senator JB, ilan na yung diplomatic protest na final nyo?
For total, sir...
Hindi. Itong mga recent incidents, gaya nito, ito yung litrato ng San Diqueo. Kahit yung sinasabi mong ito litrato ng ito, San Diqueo din to. San Diqueo 1. So, ito naman, hasa-hasa. So, ang tinatanong ni Senator JB, bakit hindi nalalaman ng mga kababayan natin na tuwing may ganitong nangyayari, kagaya nung nag-unfurl ng bandera, bakit hindi nalalaman na umaksyon kaagad ang DFA? Bakit kinakailangan pa mag-hearing tayo para malaman na kung nag-file nga kayo ng diplomatic protest? Why take so long before you can make a public statement as to your diplomatic response? Di ba dapat coordinated lahat yan? Otherwise, lumalabas na wala tayong ginagawa. Di ba? Tama si Senator JB. Ang dami na nangyari. Yung nahuli sa Palawan, yung Palawan 5, meron ba kayong diplomatic protest? Yung nahuli mga spies sa El Grande, sa Subic, meron ba kayong protest? Yung hinarangan ulit tayo sa Baho de Masinloc, meron bang diplomatic protest? Ito, nakikinikinita ko na, pagkatapos itong balikatan mamaya, bukas meron na naman silang gagawin. Di ba? Di ba dapat di kahon na yung ating pagtugon dito in terms of diplomatic protest, DFA?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Actually, the DFA, sir, with regard first to yung Pag-asa K incident, sir. Pag-asa case, the illegal actions of China in the Pag-asa case and in the vicinity waters of Pag-asa Island are the subject of regular weekly protests of the Department of Foreign Affairs. And in fact, we have issued a total of 216 diplomatic protests since the start of the administration of President Bongbong Marcos. And in 2025 alone, we have issued 18 protests already. So hindi naman po wala po kaming ginagawa, but it's part of a regular weekly protest po, yun sa Pag-asa
So, ang
case.
tanong siguro namin, bakit hindi ito na-anunsyo sa publiko na nag-protest kayo? Do we consider the protest as confidential in nature, necessitating silence insofar as publication is concerned? Di ba dapat malaman ng taong bayan, malaman ng mga tiga-Zambales, malaman ng tiga-Palawan, nag-protest naman ng Pilipinas, kaysa yung sa public, sa committee hearing na lang natin ilalabas ito na nag-protest. So kahit kami, bulag kami na nag-protest kayo, hindi namin alam kung nag-protest kayo. Isn't there a protocol here na tuwing merong protest kayo, ina-announce dapat ng spokesman ng DFA na ito, nag-file tayo ng diplomatic protest. Para naman meron tayong konting dangal at dignidad na tumindig naman tayo.
Yes, Mr. Chair. We certainly recognize the need to inform the public about our diplomatic actions. With regard to diplomatic protest kasi po, isa lang po yung diplomatic protest sa ating mga diplomatic arsenal and toolkit. Marami po tayong paraan para i-convey yung ating mga concern sa Chinese government in a very firm and strong way. Kasama na po dyan yung mga demarche at mga pakikipag-usap natin in our bilateral platforms. Ang DFA po naman sa mga pagkakataon na nagagawa po namin magbigay ng public announcement, we do that. But we also work through the institutional framework across government through the National Maritime Council and the National Task Force on the West Philippine Sea, which do issue public statements with regard to actions that we have done on Chinese illegal actions. Pero siguro po in moving forward, what we can do is to make sure that we will inform the committee about any future diplomatic protests that we
I think
will
it's not the committee but the public that should be informed. Itong yung Sunday K, naglabas ng bandera, so wala tayong response, di ba? So kaya tayo natatalo sa disinformation So dapat merong ano ba naman yung one paragraph response. We have to consider weekend nangyari yun. Dapat siguro merong appropriate response and that response should be reflective of the sentiments of the people, not just of the DFA. No offense to you. So dapat siguro ganun na makita ng mga kababayan natin, ganun siguro pinupunto ni Senator Ejercito. Parang tahimik na tahimik tayo, di ba? We demand, we need more from the DFA insofar as your diplomatic responses are concerned. It should be publicized, not kept in secret. I know how diplomacy works, pero may mga tugon na kailangan marinig ng sambayanan.
Yes, certainly, Mr. Chair. We will take note of that recommendation. Just to add also that when it comes to West Philippine Sea issues, there is a directive in the executive where all statements have to be centralized through the National Maritime Council and the National Task Force on the West Philippine Sea with regard to operational issues. But certainly,
A diplomatic protest is part of an operational issue.
ang ibig ko lang sabihin po is yung mga public statements of a strategic nature, of a legal nature, are issued by the National Maritime Council, and those public statements of an operational nature are done through the National Task Force on the West Philippine Sea. And following that, if there is need for any further public statements, such as, for example, something very specific from a diplomatic point of view, then the DFA can certainly add another
These
statement.
are, sa contracts law, these are boilerplate stereotype responses. Di kahon na yun eh. Di kahon na yun. Papalitan mo na lang kung ano kailan nangyari, saan nangyari, anong oras, anong vessel lang involved. Yun siguro ang iniintay na ating mga kababayan. Maraming salamat, DFA. Senator JD, any follow-up question?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. Kasi nangihinayang po ako, no? You have gone through a lot of hearings regarding national security issues, ito mga submersible drones kanina, yung pong mga spies. Sana naman po there is an appropriate action from the Department of Foreign Affairs, no? Dito po sa mga sinasagawa na hindi naantay pa yung pong magkaroon pa ng hearing bago po sila umaksyon. Yun na po, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I'd like to take advantage of the opportunity kung nandiyan po ang wala ang DND and AFP. So, yung National Security Council, siguro may tatanong po ako.
Nika is also here.
Bureau of Immigration.
PNP is here. PNP is here. Nika is here.
Nika.
NSC is here.
Ay, na PNP. Yes,
Go ahead,
Mr. Chair, kasi po, I'm also worry, no? Alam naman natin, usapan na po natin itong mga spies, no? Yung mga pinaplanta nito. Dahil po napakalawak ng dredging operations ngayon dito sa Manila Bay, baka mamaya po nakatingin tayo sa West Philippine Sea. Merong tanong ko lang sa NICA, sa National Security Council, or kung Coast Guard, nandiyan po ang BI, hindi ba nila kinukonsider na maaari maging threat? Baka mamaya itong mga vessels conducting dredging operations in Manila Bay, karamihan po dyan Chinese nationals. Hindi ba nila kinukonsider na maaring ito'y threat? Mamaya may mga PLA members na sa dami ng mga barko dyan, na dredgers, hundreds of them, baka mamaya nasa West Philippine Sea tayo nakatingin, nandyan na po sila sa Manila Bay na nagmamatsyag sa atin. So I'd like to hear from NICA, National Security Council, Bureau of Immigration, dahil sila po dapat ang nagko-conduct na kung i-deport ang mga ito, and the concerned agencies, Mr. Chair.
Nika, who will answer? Nika or yes, go ahead briefly. Deputy Director General Asidillo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. To Senator Ercito, Your Honor, with regard to your question, the quick answer, sir, is yes. If I may be allowed to issue some details, but to the extent of not divulging ongoing operations, Mr. Chairman. So, quick answer po na yes, doon po sa tanong ninyo, meron po tayong ginagawang mga pagsusuri sa iba't iba pong mga kumpanya, sa iba't ibang mga individual, across our different regions, Mr. Chairman, Your Honor. As a matter of fact, isa po dyan ang dredging activities. Hindi lamang po sa Manila Bay, kundi sa ibang areas pa po natin. Pati po yung pagkuha ng buhangin sa iba't ibang mga munisipalidad po natin. Kasi ang nangyari po, nagkaroon po ng balita previously na mismong mga buhangin galing po sa ating mga coastal areas, and siya pong pinangtatambak as a matter of fact doon po sa mga disputed areas natin. And kaya po naipasok po yan sa purview ng ating mga national security agencies. With regard naman po, Mr. Chairman, doon sa iba't ibang rehiyon, meron po tayong ginagawa kasalukuyan na pag-audit po sa multidimensional footprint ng bansang China across different areas na tinitingnan natin, kung saan it does not only involve espionage and cyber activities, but also economic, political, and other forms of influence po. So again, without divulging further detail, Mr. Chairman, we would like to assure this committee, the Honorable Senator, and yung ating pong mga kababayan na may ginagawa po, aktibo po ang ating pong mga iba't ibang ahensya ng gobyerno patungkol po dito. And we can speak po not just as an agency ng NICA po, but bilang ang amin pong Director General, siya po ang chairman ng ating National Intelligence Committee, Mr. Chairman.
DDG Asidillo. Any response from NSC? Wala na? Any follow-up?
Yes.
Corroborative? Or
Yes, Mr.
otherwise?
Chairman. I'd like to confirm, Mr. Chairman, what DDG Asidillo just mentioned. Early on, hindi lang po ngayon, Mr. Chairman, I think 1 year ago or 2 years ago, National Security Advisor Eduardo Año in a meeting already gave directives to the intelligence community to look at this matter, Mr. Chairman. And we wish to assure Senator J.B. Ejercito that the dredging activities and the reclamation activities are being constantly monitored by the National Security Council. And we have undertaken such measures as to protect our national security, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, ADG Malaya. Any further questions, Your Honor? Senator JB?
Siguro last na lang po, total nandiyan na rin po ang Bureau of Immigration. Tanungin ko na lang po, ano ba ang kanilang order of priority? No? Kasi naging very busy sila, Mr. Chair, tungkol po sa mga POGO deportations. No? Kaya lang, nangyayari para nakikita ko, anything madaling gawing excuse na POGO related. No? So lahat ay, do they also look at this sa itong mga national security matters as part of their priority? No, kasi nabasa ko may mga operations sa BI sa mga Chinese, mga illegal aliens dito, no? Nakita ko yung mga business owners dito, pero ang sa akin, ano ba ang priority natin? Yung mga alam naman natin pag illegal talaga. Yung pong naghahanap buhay dito, uunahin ba natin yan o uunahin natin yung mga threats to national security? Have they done any action on individuals that are suspected to be spies or intelligence operatives? Lalo na po sa China dahil understandably meron tayong conflict with the West Philippine Sea.
BID?
Good morning, Mr. Chair.
Yes, you're recognized.
I'm Attorney Mamita from the Legal Division of the Bureau of Immigration. We are closely working with all the other national security agencies involved in the operation against any threat, not only with the POGO-related incidents, Your Honor. So, it's the priority will always be the national security, Your Honor. And it's always been there.
Ang tanong ko lang, follow-up. Follow-up lang, Mr. Chair. Alam ko, basically sa POGO, yung mga illegal overstaying, illegal Filipinos, no? Yung mga, kahit yung mga nagnegosyo na rito, alam ko, trabaho nyo rin po. Have there any been personalities na nalista or nagawan action ng BI tungkol po rito, yung issue ng national security, yung sa spies, na kasi yan ang pinag-uusapan natin eh. I'm very concerned, Mr. Chair, dahil tumitindi talaga yung ating conflict with China and hindi malayo na talagang napaplantahan tayo dito kasi minsan na may nakasama ko, Mr. Chair, sa airport, no? Mga nakapila, hindi mukhang mga Chinese na mga turista. Mga 8 po sila, crew cut para mga membro ng PLA. Yan ba na monitor nyo? Napapansin ba ng BI yan? Dahil kayo po ang talagang unang dapat sumasala. Talagang, alam mo naman, Mr. Chair, ang itsura ng mga militar dahil sa kanilang haircut pa lang, mga crew cut po sila. So yan ba, tinitake note ng Bureau of Immigration?
Yes, Your Honor. Precisely, at the borders pa lang po, Your Honor, we have a special team looking after those people. And more so, Your Honor, since our laws against treason is not that updated, it turned out that the Bureau of Immigration can hold the foreigners even if our criminal laws cannot hold them. In fact, what happened in the Subic case before, na-dismiss po ng prosecutor yung criminal case na sinampa. Pero kinuha po ng Bureau of Immigration as undesirable. Kaya hanggang ngayon po, nakadetain po yung mga yun. Hindi po napakawalan, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chair, mapapasalamat po ako sa inyo because sayang naman itong mga ahensya na ating po pinapatawag sa mga hearing, gumawa ng action kasi if I'm not mistaken, we have 2 or 3 hearings already of this nature with regards to national security. No, dapat umaksyon sila on their own na hindi naman kinakailangan na dahil sa saka po sila and I commend the chair for always sir, and talaga may threat po sa atin. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Senator Hercito. Now we proceed with the issue concerning Infinitus. Ang talagang pakay ngayon ng committee ito ay na pinayagan lang ay sana nadala natin dito yung IMC machine at yung isang spy na nahuli. But I understand there are some constraints considering that this is already sub judice. Let this chair reiterate. While this proceeding is conducted in aid of legislation and is not judicial in nature, we are nonetheless guided by the standards of fairness, reason, and legislative relevance. The burden lies with the resource persons to produce information and explain actions under inquiry. We are not here to determine the guilt yet, beyond reasonable doubt, but to assess whether there exists sufficient factual basis, credible, consistent, and relevant to inform possible legislation, policy review, or the exercise of oversight functions of the Senate. The evidence must therefore rise to the level of convincing this committee that further legislative action is warranted. We now go to the issue of Infinitus. Inimbitahan po natin dito ang isang opisyales ng Chinese Embassy, yung director ng Chinese Embassy. Ang pangalan ay, anong pangalan ulit? Mr. Comsec? Kaya mo bang i-pronounce? Mr. Wu Chingqi. But we receive a regards. You can go proceed with your lunch. This will be a working hearing. So, regrets. We likewise invited the directors of Infinitus, specifically Micah Pointon, Marketing Director. Nandito ba siya, Comsec? Mr. Paul Lee, we will recognize you later. So ito yung mga inimbitahan natin kasi sila yung involved doon sa cheque at sa kontrata. But we receive news from some press releases coming from Infinitus na apparently forgery daw yung contract. Let me be direct at this point. Mr. Paul Lee, you are the founder of Infinitus. You under oath? Can you? Yes.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, yes, I'm one of the founders.
You are a Filipino or a Chinese national?
I'm a Chinese national.
Chinese national. How long have you been in the Philippines?
I stayed here more than 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah. And Mr. Chair,
You can state some of your personal circumstances, but just make it brief to be related and relevant and responsive to my questions.
yeah, sure. Thank you, Mr. Chair, Your Honor.
We're not asking you to make an opening statement. Ang tanong ko rito, ganun katagal ka na sa Pilipinas? 20 years.
Yeah, more than 20 years.
Okay. Gusto kong ipakita sa iyo ngayon can we show, Comsec, can we show the articles of incorporation? And I asked while eating, I asked the SEC to be attentive likewise. Articles of incorporation.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, I gave a short, brief opening statement about myself and also the company. Since
How long will be the brief?
Maybe 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, honorable members of the Senate Committee, respectful good morning. I stand before you today with a profound sense of duty, both to this revered institution and to the truth. My name is Bin Li, or you can call me Paul, CEO and authorized representative of Infinitas Marketing Solutions, a corporation duly registered under Philippine law based in Makati City and engaged in events management, public relations, and ethical marketing solutions. Our company has, since its inception, faithfully complied with the law, committed for serving both public and private institutions with transparency, professionalism, and a deep regard for ethical communications. We are here today not to escape scrutiny, but to confront falsehood with the facts humbly, honestly, and completely. Mr. Chairman, before I speak further about the company, please allow me to speak briefly from my heart. My wife, she's a Filipino. Currently, she's under chemo treatment of stage 4 cancer. Actually, when we saw this news, we were in hospital abroad. We have the choice that we stay and continue the treatment. But we both decided to come back to the Philippines last week to face the issue. And yet I'm here. Because I believe in the truth and I believe in the integrity of this Senate. I have placed my trust in the fairness and wisdom of this institution, and in the promise that due process still matters in our republic. I come not to hide, not to delay, but to face this proceeding with full respect for this committee. I'm just a regular businessman. I'm not connected to politics in any way. But this issue has already affected our business. I'm speaking today simply to protect the name of our company and to preserve the trust of our client and employees. I categorically deny the allegation that Infinitas has engaged in any unlawful activity, including the spread of disinformation to influence this coming election. The supposed contract shown is not known to us, was never authorized by us. Mr. Chairman, I entrust this truth to your wisdom and to the collective discernment of this committee. I pray that this process will serve not only legislative intent, but also protect innocent people and institutions from undeserved harm. And if I may add, from one human being to another, may compassion and fairness guide us all, not only in governance, but in life. I came to Philippines more than 20 years. I'm a husband of a Filipino, and I'm a father of 2 Filipino children. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, honorable members of the Senate.
Thank you, Mr. How do you like to be addressed? Pen Lee or Paul Lee?
You can simply call me Paul.
Paul, Mr. Paul Lee.
Your Honor.
Do you understand Tagalog? Because you've been staying here for 20 years.
I only understand English.
English. So I'll be forced to speak English for the duration of this hearing. You mentioned something about the contract. I have here in possession a copy of the contract, but signed by Miss Micah. What's the last name? Pointon. Under our rules on evidence, there is such a thing as self-authentication, secondary authentication. I have just directed the committee secretary to retrieve the original copy or the certified copy of the contract from the notarial registry of the Regional Trial Court of Makati. But what I have here is a signed document of Miss Micah. Are you aware of, are you familiar with Miss Micah? Can we show first I've been asking that the list of the board of the directors, incorporators be shown on the screen. Pwede ba ipalabas yun? Mas marami sa technical, mas ayaw lumabas yung ano. Pwede ba, isa na lang doon? Can you enlarge that? Pwede bang palakihin yan? More. So, the incorporate, itaas mo nga, itaas para makita yung mga pangalan. The incorporators here are Minli, Ruby Gestada, tama ba? Christine Bergatinos Lee. May we ask Penley, who is coaching you right now? Teka mo na, huwag mo na siyang guluhin. Usaa ka pa naman. Huwag mo i-distract. Akala ko ikaw yung counsel. Are you related to Christine Lee?
Yeah, Christine Lee is my wife.
Yeah, yun ang asawa mo. Si Christine Lee, incorporator din, ano? Tapos, can we roll this down? Yung sa baba pa. Yun. Maika Isabel Basco. Ito ba yung Pointon? Yung last name niya? You don't understand. Is
I don't understand, sorry.
Yeah. Is Maika Isabel Basco now known as Maika Isabel Basco Pointon?
Yes.
Yes. So, because the contract was allegedly signed by Maika Isabel, are you willing to confirm, authenticate the validity of her signature if shown a document? Can you affirm before this committee that you're familiar with a signed document allegedly signed by Maika as a marketing director? Can you affirm that if shown?
Your Honor, actually, when this news came out, we look into.
Yeah, just answer me yes or no. Can you say that the document
That's not her white signature. It's just e-signature. We don't know how it got
That's
there.
not her signature.
Not her.
So you cannot confirm nor affirm.
Not her white signature.
The committee will now rule that we await for the submission by the notarial registry of the document emanating from their office. So directed. We now proceed to the second stage. I will be showing you a copy of the check. Can we have the committee, the technical, do that faster? We'll be showing you a copy of the check, which I heard from anecdotal news reports that you already confirmed. There is a check allegedly issued to pay to the order of Infinitus. Technical, can you do that faster? Enlarge that. Enlarge it further. Can you enlarge that? Mabagal. Yan. Can you confirm the validity? Your assistant, let the record show that Mr. Penley is being assisted by counsel, and counsel is Attorney Labe. And under our rules, the rules of the Senate, counsels are just staying in this hall in an advisory capacity. The resource person can consult the counsel, but the counsel cannot speak in behalf of the resource person. Do you confirm the existence of this check?
Yes, I confirm this check.
So this check was issued to you, to your company, Infinitus Marketing Solution. Kanina, alam nyo, NBI, kanina pa ako naguguluhan dito eh. Tinatanong ko sa inyo kung ano ibig sabihin ng IMSI. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng IMSI?
Your Honors, Mr. Chair, IMSI stands for International Mobile Subscribers Identity.
So nagkataon lang, ang acronym din ng Infinitus, Infinitus Marketing Solutions Inc. IMSI rin. Nagkataon lang, ano?
Yes, Your
So
Honor.
nagkataon lang ito, hindi ito sinasadya.
Hindi po siguro, Your Honor.
Oo. Do not place in the records the soft laughter being shown by the NBI. So, we have shown you this check. You confirm that this is genuine. You received this.
Yes,
Yes
we
or no?
received this.
Yes. We have here the presence of some bank officials. We'd like to acknowledge and thank the participation of Bank of China. Is Bank of China present here? Can you state your name? I'll ask a few questions.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Your Honor. Yeah, I am Michael Angelo de la Cruz, Managing Director of Bank of China, Hong Kong Limited, Manila Branch.
Thank you, sir. And you're willing to answer some questions because the same is true with Banco de Oro. Banco de Oro is here. No reply from. Thank you, Bank of China, for participating in today's proceedings. I reiterate and place on the record that you will not be violating any law. The law states the secrecy of bank deposits. This is not a bank deposit. We are now tackling a check, which is a negotiable instrument. Under the negotiable instruments law, this can be a proof of payment. This can be used as an exchange for payment, etc., etc. Are you aware of that?
Your Honor, yes, we are aware of the rules and regulations and the law on bank secrecy of bank
Yes.
deposits.
So be frank and candor because you will not be in jeopardy of any punishment coming from the bank secrecy law, because the bank secrecy law cannot be invoked here because this is a negotiable instrument. This is a check not covered by the bank secrecy law. So dito po sa checking ito ay dineposito ito ay issued by the bank to the payee, Infinitus Marketing Corporation. Do you recall, sir, who signed at the back of the check when this was either encashed or deposited?
Mr. Chairman, Your Honor, in as much as we would like to assist the Senate committee, we respectfully submit that we are constrained to comply again with bank secrecy laws.
Again, I tell you, hindi po kasali dito yung bank secrecy law. This is a negotiable instrument. Sino ba yung abogado nyo? Paano nakasama dito ang bank secrecy law? Paano nakasama ang bank secrecy law?
Your Honor, we request...
Let me tell you this. The Bank Secrecy Act's protections do not bar disclosure of documents independently obtained by the Senate. This never came from you as the source. So hindi kayo kasama sa confidentiality nito. The Bank Secrecy Law, Republic Act 1405, restricts compelling banks to disclose deposits of whatever nature, including investments, not the disclosure of documents already obtained by Congress from other sources. Thus, if Congress possesses such documents, the Act does not prohibit the disclosure. So, in itself, this is not protected by the Bank Secrecy Law. Ginagamit, tinan nyo ha, yung mga nakababayan natin nakikinig. Paano naging sikreto ito? Pag nag-deposit ka ng check, bibigay sa teller, yung teller ipapasa doon, nilalagay sa plastic yon. Ang nakakita doon siguro mga 10 na. Ang dami pa, dadating pa yan sa kung saan PDIC pa ata para ma-check kung may deposito o wala. So, the bank, Mr. Can I get you? I'm sorry.
De la Cruz.
Mr. De La Cruz, the bank secrecy law is not applicable here. So, tinatanong ko lang sa iyo, very simple. Sa likod ng check, kasi negotiable instrument pipirmahan yung check sa likod. Deposit or encashment. Sino po ang pumirma?
Mr. Chairman, may I request for a minute to consult our counsel?
Yes, go ahead. Hearing suspended for 1 minute. Hindi ko naman, Bank of China, to be clear.
Good morning.
Hearing is resumed. Bank of China, hindi naman natin tinatanong kung magkano yung deposito, ano yung nature ng deposit. Inadmit na po na ni Mr. Paul Lee na may checking ganito, that this is real, this is genuine. Ang tinatanong ko lang sa inyo, sino yung nakapirma sa likod? Wala na to, admitted na po ito eh. Sa kahit sa husgado, tanggap na po yan. This is real, genuine, and authentic.
Mr. Chairman, we are guided by the BSP legal primer on the secrecy of bank deposits, which prohibits the bank from even confirming the existence of a bank account.
The payee himself already acknowledged the existence of this check. Inadmit na nila na binayaran sila. Kasi Mr. Polly, can you confirm that? Is this check real?
Yeah, this check is real.
The check is real. Ano pa rin? Wala nang secret dito. Live tayo sa buong Pilipinas. Sa Facebook, ano pa ba secret? Kahit yung mukha mo napapanood ngayon, bukas marami na magpapa-autograph sa'yo. So there is no more secret here.
Your Honor, the negotiable instrument contains details which may compromise our adherence to the bank secrecy law.
I have just mentioned that the bank secrecy law pertains to deposits. This is not a deposit. This is a negotiable instrument law. I will not argue with you any longer. I'll just ask you through your lawyer, to produce a paper showing, justifying why you cannot be cited for contempt by this committee. So directed, Comsec, prepare a letter. So hindi na kita tatanungin doon, but I thank you for your participation. Just the payee himself, the CEO, confirmed the existence of this check. Sila na yung tumanggap ng cheque, ayaw mo pa rin i-admit. So ina-admit mo ba cheque ito ng Bank of China? Di ba rin? Alam ko, tayo. We can lalo ka mawawala ng kliyente sa bangko mo pag gaganyan ka. In-admit na ito, tsaka negotiable instrument to. You were not given a solid legal advice. Baka mapahama ka pa. So I can dispense with your answers. Baon mo na lang yung lunch mo. Sama mo yung abogado mo. I now proceed again to Mr. Paul Lee. Mr. Paul Lee, you just mentioned a while ago that you are a law-abiding citizen, evoking some emotional situations before this committee, which we recognize. A while ago, you mentioned that you comply with other regulations. If I may ask you, when you receive a payment of this big amount, was the law on value-added tax complied with? Nagbayad ba kayo ng VAT?
Your Honor, I think your question, I need to consult with accounting. I'm the
Right, go ahead.
CEO. I'm not familiar with accounting terms.
You will consult with your accountant. Maybe ask the Bureau of Internal Revenue, kung meron ditong representative, what is the, in a transaction such as this, involving the Embassy of the People's Republic of China, who pays the VAT?
Good afternoon po, Chair. For this po kasi we have what we call the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations. And under also po the principle of reciprocity, their official purchases po are exempt from VAT pero on refund basis po siya. So hindi po siya point of sale. So initially magbabayad po sila ng VAT and then they will apply for refund.
Bayad sino?
Si Chinese Embassy po. Pagbabayad po muna sila with VAT and then they can apply for a VAT refund with RDO 51 po.
Because this does not involve a point of sale transaction, ganun ba yan?
Yes po, sir. Because
Can
based
you
on
clarify that?
it is based on principle of reciprocity po, meaning yun din po yung privilege na binibigay po nila sa Philippine Embassy in China. For other embassies po,
But there is a limit. Department of Foreign Affairs is here. Certain RMB. Magkano yan? 5,000 pesos? Magkano ba yan?
At the time of issuance po ng BIR ruling, it's at 5,553
And
for
this? The amount involved here?
930,000.
O, pasok ba yung ini-invoke mo kanina? Which is 930,000? Sa reciprocity?
Meron po kasi, sir, dun po sa BIR ruling namin that if it's for an official purchase of the embassy, there will be no ceiling po.
No ceiling.
Yes po.
So, in this case, can the Infinitus Marketing Corporation be held accountable, liable for the VAT?
If they dapat po may VAT po muna na chinarge si Chinese Embassy, then mag-a-apply po sila for VAT refund with the BIR office. Doon po ma-review if the transaction is eligible for VAT exemption under the ruling issued by the BIR po.
In this case, do you recall having reviewed any transaction involving the Chinese Embassy and Infinitus?
We apologize, sir, pero we don't have a copy po of the contract, and the discretion as to whether it is entitled to VAT refund will be with the district office of the BIR po.
District office would be in Makati.
RDO 51 po, according to Revenue Memorandum Order 10-2019.
Can you submit a report to apprise this committee likewise as to the VATability of this transaction, which will be clarified later on by this committee as we proceed?
Yes po.
Can we confirm from the Department of Foreign Affairs the nature of the transactions, whether this is a point of sale or a refundable VAT transaction, considering that the Vienna Convention on Consular Relations was just invoked?
Good afternoon po, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
We would like to, for this particular case, because this represents a service, which normally would be rendered after the payment, we would hesitate to speculate on the nature of the transaction, but in this case probably defer to the appropriate agency regarding the vatability of this transaction po.
The appropriate agency would be what?
Usually po, for cases like this, we usually also refer situations like this to the DOF and their attached agencies, sir.
May we ask Infinitus, are you a VAT registered company?
Yes.
You are a VAT registered company. Do you recall having paid a value-added tax for this transaction, which you confirmed a while ago is a valid check, which presumably is a payment for services rendered?
What I can confirm is every year we pay our tax, but for this one, I need to consult with our accounting
You will consult.
because I don't
your
go
account.
through each details.
And BIR, the value-added tax here is 12%.
Yes po.
12%.
If not exempt po. So initially, they should have 12% VAT, and then if na-grant po yung refund, you put
So, kung 12% ang VAT dito, dapat, hindi lang ito 930,000. Dapat ikarga yung VAT doon. Kagaya pag bumibili nagbabayad tayo sa gasolinahan, nakalagay doon yung VAT sa baba, di ba? So, dapat nakakarga dito yung VAT. Di ba?
yes po, yes sir. Kasi po, they are refund po, VAT refund po ang system with the Chinese Embassy.
Yes. Pero, on the part of Infinitus, hindi niya masagot, can I ask you to ask your accountant, is the VAT incorporated in this 930,000? As far as you can recall, is that already covered, the VAT? Kasi if this is not covered by the VAT, you will reduce this, deduct 12%. Comsec, what is 12% of 930,000?
I will consult with our accountant.
You will consult your accountant. So, take note, BIR, there might be some VAT tax payments that can be invoked, and I urge you to study this. Sayang, singil tayo ng VAT sa mga kababayan natin, lalong-lalo na sa kuryente. Ito, 2023 pa, baka hindi natin nakolekta yung VAT dito. Di ba? Ang laki rin yan, 930,000. We proceed to another aspect. So, Mr. Lee, you acknowledge payment, let's begin with the payment you received. You acknowledge receiving the check in the amount of 930,000, correct?
Yes.
And then a while ago, during your opening statements, you and your press releases, you mentioned something about payment. This payment was made for professional services. Could you clarify what specific professional services are you saying?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, this check actually is for the follow-up balance for the event of June 8 in 2023. We hold the event in Manila Hotel for the UPCO event. Actually, President Marcos and some other cabinet joined this event. So, yeah. Thank you.
Again, this was because of an event and you were paid for that event held last June.
June 8, 2023. UPCO.
What's that?
Award for promoting Philippines-China understanding. And during that event, President Marcos and other cabinet joined. And since that in that event is quite strict, we also adding more holding rooms and also the COVID testing security, adding more security. So before the budget not enough. So that's why here has a follow-up balance.
Paid because of you hosted the event.
Yes.
Okay. So, can you provide this committee an invoice relative to that event? Or a written contract concerning that event? You were hired by the Chinese embassy?
Yeah, because we are the PR company for Chinese embassy.
So, there must be an invoice reflective of this payment. Meron po ba? Can you show this committee a copy of that invoice?
We have the we call CE.
Are you ready to show that now, or
We have.
we will provide that to the committee secretary? Can the committee secretary secure a copy of that?
Yeah, we also submitted this one to NBI already.
Let the record show that the one-page CE is being handed to the committee chair for his appraisal. So this is a... Pero iba eh. Ang sinabi mo kanina, what you just mentioned is not reflective of what is being shown. You mentioned a June 11 event. You are showing me a letter dated September 5, 2023. So, I don't know, either you're lying before this committee or you're trying to hoodwink me. Ang liwaliwalag no sinabi mo for a June 11 event. Itong binigay mong resibo, budget proposal, September 5, 2023. So, budget proposal ito. I'm asking for an invoice.
Mr.
You
Chair,
know,
may I?
Lying before the committee is also a contumacious offense. So, what you've shown me is probably I can have this submitted to the NBI for further study to enable them to scrutinize whether this is real or not. Budget proposal, this is not an invoice.
Mr. Chair.
And this is not June 2023. This is not June. This is September.
Mr. Chair, may I explain?
Tama ba ako? Am I correct? When you say June, and then when you said June, and then you submitted the paper September 5, 2023, those those two claims are totally incompatible.
The event is on June. As I mentioned just now, because
I don't want to argue.
yeah, this is the request of the payment.
The event is in June, but the budget proposal is September.
This is the balanced budget, which means we paid additional fund to the event. Then during September, we requested the Chinese embassy pay us back.
Can you show the invoice? I'm asking for the invoice. I'm asking for the invoice. These are sales order June 9. You mentioned COVID. These are you purchased COVID-19 antigen kits. Ano to sa COVID-19 ito eh? Bumili kayo ng kits, bumili kayo ng face mask,
That's requested by the President Office.
bumili kayo ng face shield. Teka muna. Wala na COVID dun eh. June 9, 2023. Officially, the World Health Organization declared the end of COVID-19. 2022 pata or before. 2023 to. Either you're lying, Mr. Pen, kasi ito, there is no
Mr.
more
Chair,
COVID. I disagree. You can even ask the Department of Health. We can ask the doctor of the Senate here to be present. Wala nang COVID noong June 9, 2023. Wala nang face mask. Wala nang face shield. Wala nang sterile swab. Wala nang... I think you're confused. Either you're trying to confuse this committee or you're lying outright. Sir, I'm sorry, the committee will not be accepting these documents because...
Mr. Chair,
yes,
may I?
wala nang COVID no?
That COVID test is requested President Office. So even we have all the signature with all the President Guard, each of them after the test they have to sign because that's why we have this follow-up payment because during that event the President Office adding those tests and want to make sure everybody is safe.
But there is no hotel during this period of time requiring swab test. Not even in the Senate. We're now open. The entire world is open. Was open. Pati airlines open. Wala na tayong face mask. Wala na tayong face shield.
Your Honor, hotel not requested, but this request is special requested by the President
I will ask
Office.
the appropriate office within the Office of the President whether this is correct or not. Can you just photocopy this, Comsec? But I'm sorry, I cannot accept the fact that COVID still exists during those days. Wala na po. Nasa labas na tayo nun. So, you probably confuse your narrative in your rush to have this align with your narrative. You produce a different story. We don't have COVID June 2023. Even during the campaign of 2022 elections, we never wore face masks or face shields. For that matter, nor antigen tests were required. Wala na. Schools were open. I don't know from what story are you lifting that playbook, but that's not correct. And the committee, sad to say, will not accept your papers. It might even be detrimental to your cause because you're lying right now. Let me now go to another item. Can you show again the articles of incorporation? Para mabilis tayo kasi alas 12 na pala. Wala nang COVID noong 2023. Wala na open na, wala nang hybrid classes. Can you two articles of incorporations again? Yes. So you have 5, you have 4, you have 2 Filipinos from Cavite, huwag maliitan. Ruby Gestiada, Christine Lee, and then can you scroll it down? Can you scroll it down? And then Men Lee. Who is Min Lee? Who is Min Lee?
It's my another business partner.
A relative of yours?
No, it just happened. We have same surname.
When during this when it was incorporated, Christine was already your wife.
Yes.
And is it fair to say that you got married before the articles of incorporation was signed?
Yes, we married in 2008.
2008. Securities and Exchange Commission, I told you to be attentive enough. Apprise this chair if there are rules violated concerning the incorporation in terms of the existing 60-40 rule. We have here two Chinese nationals, 3 Filipinos, one Filipino married to one incorporator. Can the 60-40 rule be violated here? Or is it safe to say that under the setup, it's still the same?
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Based on the shares disclosed under the Articles of Incorporation, they complied with the 60-40 foreign equity requirement.
Even if the wife is the wife of Mr. Penley, now a Chinese national.
The wife is registered as a Filipino national.
I have here a copy of a report of marriage. Is it true, Mr. Penley, that you married your wife? Again, I'm trying to avoid the sensitivities of these issues because your wife is recuperating. I don't want to meddle with medical issues. Is it correct to say, because I have here in my possession a report of marriage, that you were married in Beijing, China?
Yes.
So you're married in Beijing, China. And you were married 2009 or 2008?
2008. In May.
Xiumengmeng City. I thought you've been staying here for 20 years. Why? Perhaps because of sentimental, emotional concerns, you got married in Beijing. Why in Beijing? Why not in the Philippines?
Because my parents, my family is still in China. So during our marriage, so we just hold a wedding in China. That's it. After the wedding, we came back.
And your wife retained her Filipino citizenship?
Yes, never change.
Is that allowed, DFA? Let this copy of a report of marriage from Beijing be incorporated as part of the records of this case. Mark the appropriate annex, Committee Chair. So directed, DFA, dual nationality, pwede yun?
Tayo pwede, but in China hindi ho pwede.
Ano ibig sabihin nun?
That means that if the Chinese will not allow that she retain her Philippine nationality if she were to opt to take Chinese nationality.
In this case?
So, most likely po, she did not opt to take Chinese nationality.
So she's still a
that she
Filipina?
can keep, yes.
She's still a Filipina. So you were married in Beijing, marital laws of Beijing, People's Republic of China would apply. Let me show you something, Mr. Lee. I'm trying to show you I would show you a scope of work, and I would ask you if you are familiar with this. Can you show a scope of work? Scope of work bears your company's logo. Hindi, check yan. Yung scope of work. Can you assist them? Oo. Yes. Can you enlarge this? Do we have here a copy of a scope of work, which I cannot understand. Yes, because it is of, they have Chinese character. I can only understand the word Twitter, Facebook, etc., etc. But I can understand the full amount, 930,000. Can we show the logo? So we can have the entire scope of work. Yan. Do you recognize this, Mr. Penley?
No, this is my first time see this.
First time you saw this. You know, this committee had a hard time trying to understand the meaning of this Chinese characters, so we had this transcribed. Can we have the transcription in English? Yes. Can we enlarge this? Remove the, yun na muna lang isa, huwag na muna yung dalawa, yung pagbanggain yung dalawa. Can you assist? Yes. Can you do that? Yung isa lang yung English? Oo. So nakalagay po dito, for the benefit of our listening public, ang nakalagay po doon sa Chinese instruction sa taas, Project Publicity Guidance Team of the Chinese Embassy in the Philippines. Can you enlarge the English portion, the translated portion? Can you enlarge that? Can you enlarge that? Yung isa lang, huwag yung dalawa. Yan ang sabi ko kanina. Yan ang mahirap pag marami nga sa tatlo-tatlo pa. Hindi yan. The entire. Yun muna ang buo. Yung buo. You're wasting this committee's time. Can we scroll it down? I-contempt ko na kaya itong mga technical na ito. Ang nakalagay dito, number 1, instructions of the project. Tinranscribe natin sa English, yun yung Chinese. Daily public opinion guides the team's operations. According to the requirements of the embassy, conduct public opinion guidance on social media, Twitter, Facebook in due course. Number 3, to ensure the smooth flow of communication, Unlimited Media will conduct communication responses with crisis response team and the embassy in real time to ensure the flow of information. Number 4, provide reports on project implementation and recommendation for improvement. Nagtataka lang po ako, bakit ito ngayon ay eksaktong 930,000 din? Kanina sinasabi yung 930,000 pambili ng mga face mask. Ito 930,000 for this job alone. Ano pong masasabi? What can you say? Mr. Resource Person, Mr. Penley.
I'm not familiar with this. It's my
You are?
first time see this.
The first time you saw that. Can we now, pagbanggain mo na ngayon dalawa. Pagbanggain mo, yan. So, we have now the exact logo of the company. We have the Chinese instructions, which we transcribed in English. The same amount. I don't know how to read in English, but perhaps you can read in Chinese. The instructions were given there. Curiously, the same 900,000 as reflected in the check you admitted a while ago. Di ba nakakapagtaka yun? Yun na nga yung eksakto, hindi yung face mask. Can we now go to another slide? Which, let this presentations be marked accordingly, Comsec? So can we now go to the other slide? Can we go to the slide showing a post-engagement report? Tulungan nyo. So this jives with the amount shown in the check. So, yeah, can you enlarge that? Yes. So in this slide, you are submitting something to the Chinese embassy. This one was dated November 2024, issue on social management. You recognize this?
No, it's my first time see this.
But the logo is correct.
The logo, I need to really look into it. From here, looks
the same.
almost, yeah.
Yeah.
He knows that Chinese culture is so much ingrained in our own culture
that without it we will not have the Filipino identity. Inculcate to Filipinos that China and the Chinese people is a big part of our growing economy and our culture. Without them, we will still be a backwater country. Without them, many Filipinos will still be dirt poor. Without them, hundreds of millions of Filipinos will be jobless/unemployed. Final item, sir. China, or in closed parenthesis, People's Republic of China, has been investing and donating heavily in the country since the 20th century until this very moment. That is all, sir.
So let that likewise be part of the exhibits to be marked before this committee. You recognize this as part of your submissions to the Chinese embassy?
No, this is my first time see it.
First time. Okay. Can we have another slide? Another slide. Yes. This is a report, important highlights of the month. Can you explain this? Can you read this, Comsec?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Important highlights of the month. First item, Army propagated the special...
Let me underscore that. Army probably, can we ask, sino ba? Nika, what is the meaning of army here? Army refers to what? A troll or ano ibig sabihin na army?
From the context of the contract or the engagement, Mr. Chairman, this would refer to the keyboard warriors as a collective term for the keyboard warriors or the trolls that are being used to propagate whatever are agreed upon in their information operations. I'm just trying to read from the context.
Thank you. So, go ahead, Committee Secretary.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. First item, Army propagated the special video explainer about the cons of the Typhoon missile system of the U.S. being deployed the Philippines. Second, Army spread the excerpts from the blog of Husha Moonlight Official about the dangers of the Bongbong Marcos Jr. regime in the Philippines and the history of its dictatorship family. Third item, team also shared a controversial article published in CNBC Media about the world's auto giant makers need to partner with top Chinese automakers to survive in global markets because of its dominant stature. Final item, team also did massive comment operations on the official FB pages of Surigao Congressman Robert Ace Barbers because of his negative statements about China regarding the issue in the South China Sea. That is all, sir.
Firm, the highlights submitted to the Chinese embassy, Mr. Polly?
No.
Of course, we expect that answer. Can we show some photographs now, Committee Secretary? Tulungan niyo photographs. Oh, huwag muna kayo umupo dyan. Mamaya, iiwan ko na kayo dyan kay alas 6. The next. No, not that one. Not that one. The other one. Not that one. Not that one. The objectives. The objectives, not that one. Mali na naman itong ano. After the highlights. That one, after, sa taas ng highlights. Usaha, palitan mo na itong mga technical. Yes. Can you expand this? Bilba na naman yung nilabas. Siguro, infiltrated na itong tatlong ito. So look at this. Composition of army. Earlier, I asked the Nika to define army. This one shows social media army accounts information. Total accounts, Twitter 330, Facebook accounts 300, Twitter 30, total friends and followers of the army 53,332, total number of staff in operations 11, including the team leader. Are you aware of this? Of course, you will say no. Even with
I don't know about this. I cannot recognize.
You cannot recognize. But what about the 11 members of your staff in operations? 11 including team leader.
because in our office we are 16, so I don't know this report was talking about.
So, which is greater, 16 or 11? You're saying that you're 16 in the office, and this refers to 11.
Yeah, because in our office we doing the event creatives. So I don't know this report.
So your answer is no. Mr. Polly, I'm sorry. The other day, in your office, which is located where? Valero Street, one well-meaning citizen took a picture of what is posted outside your door. The other day, I will ask you first whether that is the door of your office. Can you post it? Not yet Zoom. Yes, it is a Zoom. Outside your office is a requirement for those applying. You must be 18 years old and above, with a minimum of 200 followers, had already streaming record in TikTok, can be gaming, singing, dancing, or other contents you preferred, willing to go live every day. This is outside the door of your office. Do you deny that?
I don't.
You don't deny?
Yeah.
So you confirm this to be true? You
Yes.
admit this? Because we can show you your office, and even the people inside your office.
Yeah,
They said hello. They said hello. So you confirm this?
yeah, because we are hiring
You are hiring
the
employees.
BDs for the TikTok host.
TikTok post. And yet, you claim that you do not have an 11-member team. So what's the meaning of hiring employees with a minimum of 200 followers? Is that based on the skill set or?
So this is, let me explain more. This is, we are recruiting the TikTok host who can dance, who can sing. So this is a new project. Actually, is if you watch TikTok live, you can see there are girls or boys. They're dancing, they're singing. This is line of another business aside from the one you are asking about the event management.
This is part of your definition of professional services.
Yes.
I'd like to show you some photographs, which was shown a while ago. Tulungan niyo na. Yes, this one. I'm showing you some photographs of you attending. Are you the person on the right, from my position, the right side? Are you that one with eyeglasses?
Your Honor, yes, that's me.
And you attended the 70th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China. When was this?
I think that's in the Shangri-La Makati, because this is very early. We are part of the event organizer.
And the fellows with you, are they part of Infinitus? Your employees, your staff, your colleagues?
Yes, yes.
Can you identify the person to the left, extreme left?
Sorry, that's really long time ago. They left the company already. I cannot tell their name, but the face I can recognize.
Yes, because usually TikTok influencers would jump from one place of employment to another. The second, the girl on the green, wearing green.
Yeah, just now I confirmed that was our former employees. Just because they were not with us,
What about
I
the
cannot
one?
really give their English name.
What about the one waving a Chinese flag?
Yeah, that's one of my business partner, or just now you mentioned in the corporate.
What's her name?
Minli.
Mainly.
Yeah.
Mainly. Chinese national.
Yes.
Do we have another photograph? So it appears that since 2019, you've been cozy with the Embassy of the People's Republic of China, and you've been, that's just a year after your company was incorporated. Is that correct?
Yeah, our company was established in 2018.
Yes, but this is the 70th anniversary of the People's Republic of China, and yet you were given the big chance and opportunity to handle the event.
In this event, actually, it was very clear for me. We make this photo booth and we printed the photos.
How long have you known the people inside the Chinese embassy?
We started the business partnership since 2019.
2019. So when was this?
This actually was our, I think, the first event.
So you were established 2019, and immediately you were given the opportunity to handle a big event for the Chinese embassy.
Just now I said this event, we are just part of it because it's like we are also new to Chinese embassy. So the organizer actually is another company, but we have them to prepare the photo booth and we have them to prepare the printing of the exhibition.
Mr. Lee, you've been trying to impress upon this committee that you have nothing to do with the troll farm, and that the 930,000 was a payment made for an event and largely consumed by anti-COVID materials, and yet we were able to establish that during that time there is no longer a COVID pandemic, and then the 930,000 closely matches your event that would be shown as accurate relative to the trolls, the post-troll reports, monthly reports, as well as the instructions given by the Chinese embassy. You want this committee to believe that you receive a large check, coordinated digital influence activities, and yet you deny and just claim this to be just part of a professional consulting. I do not see professional consulting here, Mr. I have not yet asked you a question. I've seen some violations. Is it correct to state that because of your closeness with the Chinese embassy, you would frequent Beijing together with the members of your team? Frequently would mean more than twice a year, thrice a year. Is that correct?
No. Actually, since last year, my wife got cancer, so we got a treatment abroad. Then
abroad would mean?
I bring her also checked with doctor in China. Then before that, already 7 years, I didn't go back to my hometown. Major reason is because of COVID.
What about your other colleagues in Infinitus? What about Mike Pointon? I have records here which would show that she frequents Beijing several times in a year. Left for Beijing on 13 August 2024, went to Shanghai August 20, 2024, and then on another date, June 2024, left for Daejeon, China, and then returned to the Philippines, went back to another place in China. So, what is the nature of this? Is this a part of your company's efforts to reward or to attract more contracts from the Chinese government, or to supervise a troll farm? So why is this so frequent? visitations to
Your
China?
Honor, I believe she went to China just few times, and mostly, if ever, I don't know the exact date, but I know it's like she newly married a few years ago, so it's really for her personal, for
But
cultural or travel.
as the CEO of the Infinitus, you must have given permission for your employees to visit China frequently.
In our office, we don't work that way because we are partners. So not like I myself decide 100%.
My curiosity was pricked and aroused. Your other employee, Gestiada Ruby, Filipina presumably, went to China January 2025, went to China December 2024, less than a month's time, went to Canton, went back to Canton again, and then went to Beijing, September 2024, went to Canton, September 2024, etc. I have all the records here. I have all the flight details, including the airlines and the gate number. Mr. Penley, you cannot lie. I have here everything. Sa mga nakikinig po, nandito po yung record kung saan aeroplano sumakay, anong oras umalis. Lahat po nandito, tapos sasabihin, hindi alam. Paano nangyari yun?
Your Honor, for Ruby, actually, she is not involved in our operation. It's just at the beginning, her name was there. So she quit already, actually. Then I believe the reason he fly back to China because for her e-commerce business, especially went to Canton. I don't really know more details, but I know she's trying to do the e-commerce to import some product there.
Including you, Mr. Paul Lee, I have here all your travel records. You went to Shanghai, you went to Canton, you went to Canton again, Canton, you went to Beijing. I have everything here, including the airlines, the date, the time of flight. It appears that almost every month you go to China. You must be a frequent flyer now of that preferred airline. I don't want to belabor that point because as you said a while ago, you only went there for your because you missed the place, having been in the Philippines for 20 years. You got married in 2009, and then the latest travel, the latest sojourn would involve bringing your wife for some medical treatment, but that would conflict with the travel records here.
Your Honor.
But my question is this: is this correct?
Yes,
you
it's
go to
correct.
China frequently.
Because my wife had treatment in China, she stayed there.
No, this was even before. This was even before the treatment.
My wife started treatment since last year.
Yes, I have records here since 2019, Mr. Paul Lee. 2019. Your immediate initial premise here is that you've been staying here for 20 years. I have here records since 2019. Kung gagawin natin tong mileage, ang dami na. I have records here since January 1979. Would you believe that? January 14, 1979. Yun ang birthday mo. So I have all the records here. Mr. Paul Lee, 2019, June 2023, you went to Hong Kong. Then you went to Xiamen, November 27, 2019. You presumably, no offense, I don't want to inflict more emotional distress on the medical condition of your wife. This is 2019. We have 2018. So my question is this: you can refuse to answer, ignore my question, or faithfully answer. Do you go to the People's Republic of China frequently to render submission of reports, to meet some important personalities, or just visit because you've been missing the place since the last 20 years? Yes or no?
No.
So that just proves that all these records are not that accurate, and what you've said a while ago, that you've been staying here for the last 20 years, would probably contradict the records coming from our airport officials. I think I'm done with you, Mr. Lee. I cannot tolerate anymore lies, especially at this period when we're confronted not just with lies but disinformation. You're making this committee part of the disinformation campaign. And it pains me to hear you refuse to answer a question that would have probably alleviated whatever predicament you're in a position right now. I would have wanted you to answer forthrightly and with candor because you're under oath. But having said that, I think this committee has done more than enough to tie the dots from the arrested spies of the Palawan, referring to the Palawan 5, to the El Grande spies, to the Makati spies, to the Intramuros spies, more than 19 and still growing, to the submersible drones, to the disinformation campaign, which is still ongoing and still growing. We thank the security officials here present for their time and effort in unmasking all of this. The committee is confident that we will come up with a more robust legislative measures that will confront all of this. Commonwealth Act 616 is not enough. The current cybersecurity laws would not suffice. We still need a more dynamic and proactive legislative framework, but we need the cooperation of all. Naniniwala po ako itong pag-iispiyang ito, kahit tinatanggi nila, ay totoo. Ano pa ba ho kailangan nating patunayan? Lahat po ito ay nakaka-epekto sa ating bansa, lalong-lalo na sa ating mga kabataan na madaling maniwala sa nilalaman ng ating mga gadgets, ng ating mga cellphones. Before I close, I would like to hear a closing statement, one from the Philippine National Police. 2 minutes. NICA, 2 minutes. NSC, 2 minutes. NBI, 2 minutes. DFA, 2 minutes. To tie up all of this. And I believe you all agree with me. Dapat po ang manaig dito, yung pagmamahal natin sa bayan. Hanggang ngayon, binobola pa tayo eh. Ito namang si Bank of China, hindi naman naintindihan yung batas. Siguro, no offense to your lawyer, I think you were misinformed. Inadmit na nga kanina yung cheque. And in that order, we start with the Philippine National Police. General Lopez, you're recognized. Your 2-minute closing statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to inform the body, particularly to the head of this committee, that the Philippine National Police is in full support to this committee in the crafting of the new laws that will aid for our maritime laws. That's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, General Lopez. Next would be ADG Jonathan Malaya.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to thank the Chair for calling this series of hearings that, Mr. Chairman, I think has educated the Filipino people about the current national security threats that we are currently facing. We also thank the Chair for his commitment to push for the amendments of certain laws, Mr. Chairman, that will help strengthen the national security and improve the capacity of government agencies to detect and address emerging threats to our national security, including espionage and other activities. We thank the Chair for his time and for the opportunity to be invited to this hearing.
Who's next? Anika?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In the context of this being a hearing in aid of legislation, we would like to thank and commend the Chairman for providing an opportunity for the Senate and the Congress as a whole to update our anti-espionage laws, as well as to finally enshrine into law a piece of legislation that shall counter what we call MIFI, or malign influence and foreign interference. In the context of the discussion centering around mostly one country, we would like to invite the public to understand that this is not against the Chinese people. Our efforts really are against a party that has controlled one country and whose interests are ranged against ours, especially in matters concerning the West Philippine Sea/South China Sea, and in matters where there is clearly an emerging phenomenon called malign influence and foreign interference right in our very shores. Mr. Chairman, we have previously testified that we see an emerging trend across our regions when it comes to both not just in the political, economic, but also in other arenas of our local life. And mga halimbawa po nito, nung binuwag po yung Pogo, akala po natin tapos na yung problema natin. Pero nakikita po natin na nag-evolve po ito. Without mentioning po a particular region, for example, meron na po tayong tinatawag na guerrilla Pogo operations. Presumably, a general merchandising company operating a legitimate business in a multi-story building, yung pala meron ng isang maliit na call center sa taas. And the activities are synonymous to what we call Pogo operations, albeit in a much reduced form. Another thing that we should watch out for, hindi lamang po ang ating mga ahensya ang una pong sasalo or ang una po nating gwardya sa ating pambansang seguridad. Nandyan din po yung ating mga local government units. We have also seen the trend, for example, Mr. Chairman, of late registration of birth certificates. Certain ethnicities avail of this facility in our LGUs, and we understand that this is the best way to enter or to fall through the cracks in our system. Bakit po? Pag nakapag-late register po tayo, nakakuha po tayo ng birth certificate as a Filipino citizen, that is now the passport or the ticket to many other Filipino documents. And this allows these individuals, presumably from a certain ethnicity, to merge into our society. And ang okay lamang po sana kung this is to pursue a better life in our country. But we have seen once again the proliferation of activities we call under the rubric of MIFI or MIFI. Dapat po, and we thank the committee and the chairman for bringing these issues to light sa ating publiko. Kasi mangyari po dapat na tayo po ay vigilant pagdating po sa mga bagay na ito. Meron po tayong tinatawag na if you see something, say something. Ito na po ang panahon na dapat po tayo maging mapagmatsyag at tayo po ay magsabi po sa ating mga opisyales, hindi lamang po sa local government units, but even report this to our government agencies. Marami po tayong dapat manmanan at para po ito lahat sa ating kinabukasan, Mr. Chairman. Maraming salamat po.
Ask the NBI now.
Mr. Chair, I would like to present first a little knowledge of the National Intelligence Law of the People's Republic of China.
I missed that. Sorry, I missed that. I missed the National Intelligence Law of China of 2017.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please proceed.
Article 7 is very important. All organizations and citizens shall support, assist, and cooperate with national intelligence efforts in accordance with law and shall protect national intelligence work secrets they are aware of. The Chinese government has this kind of nationalistic views about intelligence. I would like to urge the public to do the same.
Ang ibig sabihin, pag ikaw ay galing ng China at napunta ka ng Pilipinas, gaano ka katagal dito, pwede kang itap. Pwede kang magamit at hindi ka pwedeng hindi sumunod sa People's Republic of China. Kahit yung nahuli na negosyante sa Dumaguete, may asawa na sa Dumaguete, kahit matagal na siya doon, naka-embed na siya sa lipunan sa Dumaguete, pero pag siya ay binigyan ng instruction ng People's Republic of China, obligado siyang sumunod.
Yes, sir.
Yun po ibig sabihin yan.
Opo, Your Honor.
And what are the consequences pag hindi sumunod?
Imprisonment.
Ng mga kamag-anak niya sa China?
Ng mga kamag-anak sa China.
Kaya napipilitan silang sumunod?
Yes, sir.
Pero ulitin ko, hindi naman lahat ng Chinese masama, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Meron lang talaga nagagamit para masira ang ating lipunan. Go ahead, go ahead.
In that statement, Your Honor, we would like to give the commitment of the NBI, especially the Intelligence Service, and the Special Task Force in enforcing all the laws of the Philippines with regard to espionage and any other crimes involving the participation of foreign entities. And as we speak, the entire NBI community is still doing cyber patrolling. That is the reason why medyo safe po ang paligid with regards with the elections. That is all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
sir. Thank you, sir. NBI, wala na. Department of Foreign Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The department thanks the Senate Special Committee on Philippine Maritime and Admiralty Zones, especially the chair, and welcomes the continuation of vigorous efforts by the committee to contribute to strengthening the security of the Philippines' national security. And the Department of Foreign Affairs would like to support these efforts. The department takes any infringement of national security very seriously. In this regard, we have conveyed our support for relevant law enforcement agencies as they undertake their respective mandates in relation to alleged espionage and foreign covert operations in the Philippines. We have been in communication with relevant law enforcement and national security agencies on the issue of alleged espionage in the Philippines. We would like to reassure the Senate that we have conveyed our concerns robustly at many levels over the course of regular diplomatic interactions on our concerns and your concerns. So these representations are continuing. We take note that you have advised us to engage more with the public on these types of representations, and we will do what is necessary and appropriate. Finally po, we thank the Senate and we support that you are looking towards crafting laws as you have indicated. This would be most appreciated. We have, of course, before I close, noted your call for us to engage more with the public. So with this, thank
And
you
the
very
other
much.
agencies as well present here.
Indeed, thank you.
I think one aspect stands out here. Espionage, which is ongoing. Two, another aspect that I'm raising, and perhaps the members, the agencies present here can initiate a study. It is about time that we really invoke national sovereignty side by side with our digital sovereignty. Ginagawa nga natin yung physical space, pinapatrolyahan natin yung dagat, pinapatrolyahan natin ang karagatan, Coast Guard, Navy, PNP Maritime Group, pero is there a cyber patrol out there monitoring all of this? So we have to bear in mind that cyber sovereignty is our right to govern our digital space. Kung pinapasok tayo ng ito, hindi na natin maintindihan, wala na tayong soberenya doon. So naniniwala po ako na ang hindi pa tapos ang isyung ito. Marami pang mga katulad ng Infinitus out there na hindi pa natin na nakikilala. Marami pang drones ngayon na nasa ilalim ng ating karagatan na hindi pa nahuhuli. Marami pang mga IMSI grabbers na gumagala sa ating paligid. So we'd like to thank our intelligence community sa mga naganap na pagsasawata. Subalit kulang pa rin. Kinakailangan natin talaga ang tulong ng ating mga kababayan, ng ating mamamayan. Kung mahal niyo ang Pilipinas, ay tumulong po kayo sa cyber security. Tumulong po kayo na kontrahin ang mga espiya dahil ang pinapahina niyan ang ating lipunan. Muli po, nagpapasalamat ang kumiting ito kay Senator J.B. Ejercito sa kanyang pagdalo at sa lahat ng ating mga resource persons na naririto. Yung tamang babalangkasin po nating batas ay batas po para palakasin po ang Pilipinas. Maraming salamat sa lahat ng dumalo this